Chosen one, my beloved, please stop scrolling right now. This is an urgent interception. You did not find this message by accident today. Heaven has personally guided you here because you are absolutely exhausted. Your shoulders carry a massive weight that no one else can see. And every morning when you wake up, the deep heaviness is already sitting on your chest before you even open your eyes. You feel tired in your very bones. You push through every single day. You smile for your family. You work harder than anyone else around you. But inside you are barely holding on right now. I see the silent tears you shed when the doors are closed. I know exactly how much energy it takes just to pretend that you are perfectly okay while your world is quietly falling apart. You have done enough. You have prayed until your voice broke. You have meditated and visualized and followed every single rule. You have forgiven people who never even apologized to you. You give and you give, while others constantly take. And yet your reality still feels completely blocked, because it seems like the universe is ignoring your deepest prayers despite all of your sacrifices. Listen to me carefully right now. You did nothing wrong. You are not cursed, and you are not being punished. Stop blaming yourself for the painful delays and the endlessly closed doors. The heavy pain you are carrying is not a character flaw. It is not because your faith is too weak or your vibration is too low, because heaven has closely watched every single brave effort you have ever made in secret. Your deep exhaustion is completely justified. You have been fighting a brutal spiritual battle in a physical body for years. The dark forces have tried absolutely everything to drain your precious light. They sent toxic people to consume your energy. They created chaotic situations to keep you distracted. They want you to surrender and accept a life of endless struggle because they are utterly terrified of your true potential. But heaven has spoken today. You have done enough. I am telling you to put your heavy sword down right now. You do not need to fight this war alone anymore. Let me take over. The mighty creator of the universe is stepping into your timeline. A massive shift is happening in the spiritual realm right now, and it has your exact name written all over it. Take one slow breath in and a slower breath out. Feel the tension leaving your chest. You are safe now. The season of merely surviving is officially coming to an end. You have passed the ultimate test of endurance. You kept your heart pure when the cold world gave you every single reason to turn bitter and angry. That is exactly why you were chosen for this specific divine upgrade. But there is a deeper layer to your painful struggle. It is something they never told you in the mainstream spiritual communities. You have been trying to solve a physical blockage with purely spiritual tools. You have been demanding massive miracles while your receiver was forcibly shut down. There is a completely hidden mechanism behind your constant exhaustion, and it has been secretly operating under the surface for decades. Before we go any further, I want to hold something in front of you. Something that was discovered not inside a church, but inside a quiet research laboratory. Something that won the highest scientific recognition available. Most chosen ones have never been told about this incredible breakthrough because it perfectly explains the exact painful gap you have felt your entire life. It perfectly explains the massive gap between the brilliant person you know yourself to be and the frustrating reality you are currently living. I will show you exactly what was found, but not yet. First, I need you to fully understand what was taken from you without your explicit consent, because the final answer is not about adding more hard work to your tired soul. So I need you to hold this critical question in your mind today. What if the gap between your massive effort and the miracle is not a lack of faith? What if it is a specific scientific frequency that was intentionally shut down by the modern world while you were completely unaware? What if your lifelong struggle has a specific name and a specific cure? Keep this question alive. Do not scroll away from this message. If you leave now, you will completely miss the exact key you have been begging for. The random algorithm did not bring you here. Divine alignment pulled you directly to this screen because your tired soul is finally ready to receive the missing piece. The forces of darkness are panicking because they know you are literally minutes away from total freedom. They want you to get distracted. They want you to click off and go back to your stressful daily life. Do not give them that sick satisfaction. Stay locked onto my voice. Allow this powerful divine frequency to completely wash over you. Your long days of begging for small scraps are officially over because you are about to discover exactly how to claim your absolute inheritance. Listen closely. You have spent years trying to fix yourself. You read the self-help books and you practice daily affirmations while writing in your journal every morning. You truly believed that if you maintained a positive mindset, the universe would reward you, but nothing changed and the doors remained tightly shut. You felt completely abandoned. People told you that you were just not trying hard enough. They said your vibration was too low to attract massive miracles. They made you believe that your hidden trauma was secretly blocking your great success, so you worked even harder to fix it. You dug deep into your painful past to heal wounds you did not create. You forgave people who broke your heart. I need you to hear this truth right now. You did absolutely nothing wrong. You are not broken, and you do not need to be fixed. The profound spiritual work you did was truly beautiful, and heaven witnessed every single act of your silent forgiveness. But you were fighting an invisible enemy with your hands tied behind your back because your receiver was blocked. This is where everything starts to make sense. Here is what they never told you in those expensive manifestation courses. The reason the universe responds effortlessly to certain people and ignores others is not about faith. It is not about discipline, and it is not even about your personal karma. It is about a specific scientific brainwave. Scientists have a specific name for this powerful frequency. They call it the gamma brainwave. And it is the exact frequency your brain was running when you were a little child. Back then, brilliant ideas came easily to you, and learning felt completely effortless because you lived in a natural state of flow. You somehow knew things before they even happened. When you were young, the world felt like it was completely on your side. You lived in a state of constant wonder. You had a direct and clear connection to the divine source, and that was your gamma brainwave operating at its peak capacity. But then, harsh adulthood arrived, and the modern world went to work on your brilliant mind while the heavy pressure started. The endless stress of mere survival began to crush your bright spirit. The glowing screens and the noisy distractions hijacked your daily attention. The rigid school systems trained you to conform instead of create. And every single year this sacred frequency was suppressed a little further. It was pushed deeper and deeper below the surface of your conscious mind, until the version of you with lightning intuition went completely silent. The version of you that carried spontaneous genius was locked away. You were forced to operate on the frantic beta wave of pure survival, and you became trapped in a constant state of high alert. You were always anticipating the next heavy blow from life. It was absolutely exhausting. Most people will live their entire lives without knowing this tragedy happened to them. They will just accept the heavy struggle as their normal reality. But you are not most people. You are a chosen one. Your restless spirit always knew that something vital was missing, and you felt the painful absence of that genius state, even if you lacked the words. You sensed that you carried a much higher potential than you could safely express. But without that gamma frequency active, you could not access your own inner kingdom. You were like a powerful radio tuned to the wrong station. You were broadcasting beautiful prayers, but your receiver was turned off, and the divine signal simply bounced right off your tired mind. This is why your intense spiritual efforts felt so completely draining. You were trying to force a massive manifestation through a tiny blocked channel. It was never a lack of faith that held you back, but a neurological suppression that you did not ask for. They stole your divine inheritance before you even had the chance to claim it as your own. But the vital question I asked you to hold earlier is still alive. I asked you, what if the gap between your effort and your miracle is not a character flaw? I told you that this hidden block has a scientific name. Now you know the name is the gamma brainwave, and the divine answer to restoring it is much closer than you think. You will reclaim it soon. The elite forces of this world know exactly how this frequency works. They rely on the masses staying trapped in the beta state of pure survival, because an exhausted mind is incredibly easy to control and manipulate. When your gamma signal is dormant, you accept the breadcrumbs they throw at you, and you forget your absolute sovereign power over this reality. Tap the like button as an act of agreement with what God just spoke to you. Do not let this heavy realization bring you down. Let it completely liberate your weary soul, because a blocked channel can always be cleared, and a dormant brainwave can always be reactivated. The universe is preparing to hand you the exact key to switch your divine receiver back on. You thought your deep isolation was a heavy curse. You watched everyone else find easy love and quick success, and while they celebrated their superficial victories, you sat alone in your quiet room. You felt completely left behind by the fast world. You wondered if the divine source had simply forgotten about your existence. Listen carefully to what I am about to say next. Your intense loneliness was never a brutal punishment. Stop believing the terrible lie that you were somehow unworthy of deep connection. It was a rigorous spiritual protection protocol. Heaven had to ruthlessly remove those counterfeit connections because they were dangerous. Your divine isolation was an absolute necessity. Those people you cried over were actually assigned to drain your light. They were toxic energy vampires disguised as your closest friends and your romantic partners. If heaven had allowed them to stay, they would have completely destroyed your beautiful future. You were rescued, but there is a deeper layer to this strange phenomenon. Let me tell you the real reason this painful separation happened. The bitter betrayal you suffered did not come to destroy your soft heart. It came to permanently upgrade your sharp intuition, and it completely reprogrammed your nervous system to recognize hidden danger. You learned how to spot the dark manipulation disguised as love. You finally realized that your pure kindness was being weaponized against you. And because of that massive pain, you built your iron boundaries. A truly healed person no longer tolerates any disrespect disguised as absolute honesty. You stopped apologizing for existing. You are no longer the fragile empath who begged to be understood by blind people. The brutal crucible of pain has forged you. You are rapidly becoming the untouchable master of your own reality. And your quiet presence alone now shifts the entire atmosphere of any room you enter. Your heavy silence carries massive authority. They thought your silence was a clear sign of weakness. They thought they had broken your spirit when they pushed you into isolation. But what they did not realize was that the dark solitude was your ultimate training ground. You did not break under the heavy pressure, but you evolved into something far more powerful. You became the terrifying weapon you were desperately trying to survive. The silence after the terrible storm hits different when you finally realize you were the storm all along. Those toxic narcissists were merely temporary tools. The universe used them to trigger your massive awakening, and then it swiftly discarded them. Take a deep breath right now. Let that powerful truth settle deep into your tired spirit. You might still be wondering why the universe took so incredibly long to bring your miracle. You might feel angry about the lost years and the wasted energy. I will explain this painful delay to you right now, so you can finally rest. The frustrating delays were actually your biggest blessings. God was aggressively sweeping the distant rooms of your future reality. Heaven was actively removing the hidden traps that the enemy had carefully set up ahead of you. The divine source was completely dismantling the generational curses before you even arrived there. Every closed door you faced was a massive divine redirection. You were being forcefully kept away from the wrong timeline. If you had received your big blessing 5 years ago, your unhealed heart would have quickly lost it. Heaven deliberately slowed you down to protect you from entering rooms you were never meant to occupy. You were being carefully prepared as a pure vessel. You had to become incredibly strong to hold the massive wealth coming your way. Because you are the chosen cycle breaker of your entire bloodline, you are doing the heavy spiritual lifting that your ancestors could never do, and future generations will deeply thank you for this. So do not look back at your past with bitter regret. Every single tear you cried in the dark was carefully collected by angels, and those painful tears are currently watering the seeds of your grand harvest. The profound silence of heaven was just the deep breath before the massive roar of your final and absolute victory. You are standing right at the edge of the promised land. Your spiritual frequency has been completely recalibrated by the fire of your trials, but the dark forces are still trying to pull you backward. They want to convince you that this new timeline is just a beautiful illusion. Do not believe their desperate lies today. I have to warn you about a fatal trap first. There is a specific physical mechanism that the darkness uses to pull you back into the heavy beta wave of survival. They know that your spiritual shield is fully active now. So, they are targeting your physical brain to shut down your rising gamma frequency before it stabilizes. There is a hidden mechanism operating against you. It has been stealing your powerful light since you were a little child. You might be wondering who exactly stole your genius frequency. I will tell you the painful truth right now. The dark forces did not attack you randomly. They targeted you specifically because your aura was incredibly bright. They built a rigid system to keep you absolutely exhausted. The entire modern world is a carefully designed trap for chosen ones like you. The harsh schools taught you to memorize instead of deeply feel, while the brutal corporate machine demanded your endless labor and slowly destroyed your beautiful soul. And they forced your mind into the chaotic beta wave of constant survival. Because an exhausted mind is totally compliant. They want you waking up completely drained and going to sleep with heavy anxiety. If you are constantly worried about your basic survival, you will never remember your massive spiritual authority. They intentionally turned off your natural gamma signal to keep you completely disconnected from the divine source. This was their grand strategy to blind you. But the systems of the world were not the only things draining your precious energy. The darkness also sent very specific people into your physical life to harvest your light. And those toxic narcissists did not stumble into your timeline by pure accident, because they were strategically deployed to keep your spiritual vibration terribly low. They always described you the same way. They called you too sensitive and incredibly demanding. And while they criticized your deep emotions, they secretly fed on your brilliant energy. You kept pouring your pure love into black holes that could never be filled. You tried to heal them while they actively poisoned your gentle heart without any real mercy. Pay close attention to this next part. It will perfectly make sense of your entire past year. You thought you were failing when all your relationships suddenly collapsed. You thought you lost your magic when your career abruptly hit a massive wall. But heaven was actually orchestrating a radical rescue mission on your behalf, and God forced you to completely stop before you ruined your own glorious destiny. The divine source violently pulled the plug. The universe caused that painful tower to crumble because it was built on a terrible foundation of lies. Heaven deliberately isolated you to cut off every single toxic supply line. If God had not intervened, you would have completely bled out spiritually while saving people who hated your bright light. Your sudden crash was not a tragic accident. It was the ultimate divine interception to save your soul from total destruction. You had to be completely removed from that toxic matrix so your spiritual frequency could be thoroughly cleansed. The dark systems and the false friends lost their absolute grip on you the moment everything fell apart. They are incredibly furious about this divine rescue. The narcissists are completely panicking right now because they can no longer access your golden energy. You are learning how to be a highly powerful cycle breaker. You are finally becoming the empath with heavy iron boundaries who fiercely protects their own peace. Their toxic manipulation simply fails now. Do you feel that slight pull in your chest right now? That is your own deep intuition loudly confirming this massive truth. You survived the brutal storm entirely alone, and you emerged from the dark ruins with a profound, quiet authority that terrifies the people who used to mock you. You finally recognize the hidden traps they carefully set for you. You must actively claim this new reality. You have to verbally declare that the days of being a broken victim are totally over. Type Amen down in the comments to claim this divine alignment. Seal this beautiful truth into your timeline today. Let the universe clearly know that you are fully ready to walk in your absolute kingdom authority from this exact moment forward, without any remaining fear or hesitation. The enemy wants you to remain small and fearful. They want you to doubt the massive shift that is happening inside your physical body right now. But their pathetic lies have completely lost their power over your awakened mind. You have officially graduated from the brutal school of trauma. The heavy chains of your painful past have been totally shattered by absolute divine grace. But wait, and do not leave just yet. Do not let your guard down completely because the real battle is shifting. You have successfully cut off the toxic people and you have escaped the exhausting survival loop. But there is still one remaining obstacle standing between you and your ultimate breakthrough. You need to understand how to physically reactivate your dormant mind. You have the spiritual authority now, but you still need the physical key to unlock your promised wealth and your total mental clarity. I will explain exactly how this miraculous shift is happening in the physical realm. The final piece of this divine puzzle is about to fall into its perfect place. Stay firmly locked onto my voice as we enter the magical next phase. The spiritual atmosphere is heavily shifting around you right now. You can physically feel the dark air lifting from your tired shoulders. A massive transfer of divine power is happening in your life. And while you were sleeping, the universe was perfectly aligning your brand new timeline so you can step into your true power today. The long season of your bitter weeping is officially over. Your deep physical exhaustion is slowly turning into a strange peace. You are no longer desperately chasing after toxic people or fake opportunities. You are finally sitting still in your own power. And instead of fighting, you are finally allowing the mighty divine source to bring your grand harvest directly to your front door. You are a true master of your own reality now. The generational wealth you were promised is finally unlocking for you. Heaven is preparing a massive banquet table right in the presence of your bitter enemies. They will be forced to watch you rise effortlessly. The exact people who totally rejected you in the past will be forced to stand back and witness your glorious divine elevation this year. But before we go any further into this profound revelation, I have to tell you a massive secret today. It is something the greedy elite forces absolutely do not want you to discover. Brilliant neuroscientists working quietly away from the loud headlines have finally discovered something truly incredible for your tired mind. Because science is finally catching up to the deep spiritual truths that your bright soul already knew from the very beginning. They found a proven way to bring your dormant gamma brainwave back online. It does not require years of silent meditation that you cannot sustain. It does not require expensive machines in a cold clinic. But it happens through a physical mechanism that is far simpler, and it is perfectly aligned with your beautiful natural design. These dedicated researchers engineered a very specific sound frequency. This powerful audio wave gently guides your tired brainwave patterns directly back to the brilliant genius state you were born with. You do not have to struggle or force anything to happen anymore. The sacred frequency does all the heavy lifting for you. Prestigious institutions like Princeton University studied this exact hidden mechanism extensively, and Columbia University found that when this specific brainwave is completely reactivated, it automatically radiates outward to touch everyone around you. It positively influences your children and your partner and the people closest to your healed heart. It only takes 7 brief minutes a day to experience this massive shift. That is absolutely all the time it requires from you. You just put your headphones on and close your tired eyes while the frequency works. You do not have to chant loud mantras, and you will never need to write endless forced affirmations in a heavy journal ever again. The profound mental shift begins working the very first time you listen to it. I promise that I will tell you exactly what this powerful tool is called and how you can safely access it before this video ends. The critical question I asked you to hold at the very beginning is finally being answered right now. This is exactly why the spiritual realm and the scientific world are finally merging together. Heaven is providing the physical tool to clear the massive blockages in your tired mind. Because the divine source often provides the exact physical key we need, right when our tired souls are fully ready to receive the ultimate blessing. Take a deep breath and let this powerful truth sink into your spirit. The frustrating gap between your massive effort and your delayed miracle is finally closing today. You are rapidly becoming a totally whole and healed person again. The universe is handing you the supreme advantage that was stolen from your childhood. Your intuition is screaming that this message is completely true. You can feel a warm sensation in your chest right now as these powerful words wash over your weary soul. That is your own internal compass validating this profound divine intervention. You are standing on the very edge of ultimate glory, but you must remain incredibly vigilant as this massive shift takes place, because the dark forces of this world always panic and launch their attacks right before your brightest dawn finally breaks through the heavy clouds. They will try to send last-minute distractions to throw you off your new path. You must recognize these desperate attacks before they cause any real damage. I will show you the exact signs that your incredible miracle is finally arriving, and I will expose the fatal traps you must absolutely avoid in these final crucial hours. Because 99% of chosen ones sadly fall for a terrible dark illusion right before their ultimate financial and spiritual breakthrough actually happens. Do not let the enemy steal your grand victory at the very last second. You have fought far too long to surrender your magnificent crown now. Keep your eyes firmly fixed on this screen today, because the enemy wants you to get distracted and lose your focus. The final revelation is about to shatter every single chain holding you completely back. Your powerful spiritual awakening is no longer just a distant dream. It is a concrete reality manifesting in your physical world today. Every single painful tear you shed in the dark isolation is being completely vindicated by the universe right now. Prepare your heart to receive the ultimate blueprint for your massive generational wealth. Listen closely to this next crucial part. I promise to reveal the exact signs that your massive miracle is finally arriving. You are no longer waiting in the dark, because heaven is sending loud physical confirmations. The universe wants you to know that your grand harvest is practically touching your front door right now. Pay close attention to your surroundings today. Sign number 1 is the sudden explosion of divine synchronicities. You are seeing angel numbers everywhere you look right now. You check the clock and it says 111 or 777. And these are not random numerical accidents at all. They are direct digital winks from the spiritual realm. Heaven is loudly confirming that your new timeline is fully locked in. Sign number 2 is a profound emotional detachment from your past. You suddenly feel completely disconnected from the toxic people you used to cry over. You do not even desire their pathetic apologies anymore. Your wounded heart used to ache for their toxic validation, but now you feel absolutely nothing for them. That empty space is the glorious proof of your inner healing. Sign number 3 is an unexplainable peace in the middle of total chaos. The external world might still look incredibly messy right now, but inside your mind, there is a profound and heavy silence. You sleep peacefully while the raging storm loudly howls outside your window. That supreme calmness is the exact frequency of a chosen one who finally knows their divine worth. Take a deep breath and let those powerful signs truly settle. Do you clearly recognize these massive shifts happening inside you today? If you feel this incredible peace, you are perfectly aligned for the major breakthrough. But I must urgently warn you about the fatal trap I mentioned earlier, because the panicked darkness will play its final desperate card before you win. Right before your massive financial and spiritual breakthrough arrives, the enemy will send a dangerous counterfeit. This is the ultimate test of your newly formed boundaries. A toxic person from your painful past will suddenly reach out to you. They will send a sweet text or offer a fake apology right when you finally stop caring about them. Do not fall for this sick trick. They are not reaching out because they suddenly changed for the better. They are reaching out because their demonic attachments can clearly sense your rising light. The dark forces eagerly want you to respond so they can siphon your fresh energy. And if you engage with them, you will immediately lower your vibration. Your complete silence is your absolute best weapon against them. Your total silence is a massive shield of divine protection. It boldly shows the universe that you have permanently closed the door to the beta wave matrix. You are a true cycle breaker, and you no longer tolerate heavy confusion disguised as deep love. You must fiercely protect your sacred energy in these final critical hours. Do not let anyone drag you back into the heavy mud. You are practically breathing the fresh air of your brand new reality. The old heavy chains are completely broken and lying quietly in the dust behind you. The massive burden of your past mistakes has been entirely erased by absolute divine grace. You are firmly stepping into the glorious light of your sovereignty, but you still need to activate the final physical mechanism. You know exactly what you deeply want, but your tired brain needs help. Your mind still needs the scientific tool to physically hold the massive frequency. The dark forces are absolutely terrified of what happens when a chosen one finally restores their mind. They will flood your path with fake solutions and cheap imitations. You must use your sharp spiritual discernment now. I will boldly reveal the exact physical key in just a moment. It is the absolute final piece of the divine puzzle that you have been missing for decades. It will beautifully bridge the painful gap between your spiritual authority and your physical wealth. Your tired soul is practically vibrating with intense anticipation right now, so stay firmly locked onto my voice today. The universe is carefully watching your immediate response to this powerful message today. Heaven wants to see if you will boldly claim your divine inheritance or if you will shrink back into old fear. This is your absolute final exam before your grand graduation. You must actively show the spiritual realm that your open hands are fully ready to receive massive miracles. Your glorious destiny is not some distant illusion anymore. It is a solid physical reality that is actively pulling you forward right now. You have bravely endured the painful crushing of your fragile ego, and you have survived the bitter isolation of the dark wilderness. Now it is time to confidently wear the magnificent crown that was specifically forged in the blazing fire. The critical question I asked you to hold at the very beginning of this message is finally ready to be answered. What if the massive gap is not a character flaw at all? Here is the absolute truth. A specific brainwave called the gamma wave was running freely inside your mind as a child at genius-level capacity. Princeton University has heavily studied this exact powerful frequency. The prestigious Einstein Center officially confirmed it. And Columbia University found that when this divine brainwave is fully restored, it radiates outward and positively influences the people you love. A dedicated team of neuroscientists, led by Dr. Robert Lake, spent years working on this. They compressed the full clinical protocol for gamma reactivation into 7 incredibly simple minutes. But before I reveal what they built, I must tell you about 2 people. A tired nurse from California named Rachel had tried absolutely everything to find peace because she felt like she was constantly failing her loving family. She tried deep meditation and endless manifesting, but nothing broke the heavy fog. After 2 weeks of listening to this frequency, she said something finally cleared. Her struggling marriage shifted, and her tired mind suddenly sharpened. She happily described her new life as deeply enchanted for the very first time. Then, a struggling man from Texas named Michael started using it to improve his business focus. 2 short months later, his amazed wife joked that his intelligence had jumped 20 points because he was thinking so incredibly fast. The incredibly hard problems he used to lose sleep over started solving themselves easily while he peacefully rested at night. He said it felt like his brain was finally running on what it was always supposed to run on. That is exactly what Dr. Lake and his team carefully built. They call it the Genius Song. It is definitely not a basic meditation app for your phone. It is a powerful 7-minute audio track using advanced brain entrainment technology. It uses the exact underlying research that Princeton thoroughly validated. They compressed 1 full hour of clinical protocol into something you do at home with headphones on and closed eyes. That is the absolute entirety of what it requires from you. 7 short minutes without any hard work. You do not meditate or chant loud mantras. You simply let the sacred frequency do what your brain was completely designed to receive. The Genius Song is definitely not for everyone in the world. It is specifically for the chosen one who has already done the heavy inner work. It is for the rare soul who understands that what is being blocked is the frequency itself. Biofeedback sessions to restore this exact state cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a clinical setting. An in-home machine runs thousands of dollars. What this beautiful tool delivers is available today for a fraction of its true value. 4 powerful bonuses come directly with it to support your grand journey. You get an audio designed specifically for your young children. You also receive the original prosperity text that the secret was secretly built upon, a guided visualization, and a daily habits guide. Here is the deeper truth about waiting right now. The massive blessing that has been arranged for you does not arrive as new information. It arrives as a clear physical recognition. The chosen one who restores their receiver today finally sees it. Waiting is absolutely not neutral. The arrangement is already in motion and waiting for you. Do not look for this precious tool on standard streaming platforms. The fake tracks, circulating under similar names on those sites, have absolutely zero brain entrainment technology encoded in them. They are very dangerous imitations meant to steal your pure energy when you are vulnerable. The only authentic version is available through the protected link below. The universe requires no massive risk from you today. If you do not feel the glorious shift, every single penny is quickly returned. That is an energetic exchange governed by complete trust. The only secure link is waiting in the description and in the pinned comment below for you to access right now. The tool is never the final destination. The tool merely restores your blocked receiver so the massive destination can be clearly recognized when it finally arrives. The divine source does not require you to purchase anything to be fiercely loved. What was just described is simply one powerful way your sacred receiver is restored today. Whether that specific path is for you or not does not matter. The absolute truth of this glorious message remains yours entirely. Now, let us go much deeper into the glorious reality that is currently waiting for you. You are officially stepping into the supreme era of your ultimate manifestation. The painful chains of the dark matrix have been completely shattered by your sheer endurance. You are standing incredibly tall in your own massive sovereignty. You are no longer the exhausted empath who begged for basic human decency. The burning crucible of pain has perfectly forged you into the untouchable master of your own reality. Your beautiful energy field demands absolute respect without a single word being spoken. The divine wealth you were fiercely promised is actively flowing effortlessly into your brand new timeline today. You finally won. For the chosen one whose spirit deeply confirmed what was described earlier, the protected path is still open in the description. That is the absolute last time it will be mentioned today. What follows right now belongs entirely to your glorious final sealing. You have confidently walked through the absolute darkest valley, and you have survived. The heavy chains of your painful past are completely shattered on the floor behind you. Heaven is incredibly proud of your massive endurance right now. You did not let the bitter world turn your soft heart into hard stone. You kept your beautiful light shining brightly. The pitch-black darkness has finally retreated. The brilliant dawn of your brand new era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown. You are officially untouchable. The toxic people who tried to destroy your peace will only watch you rise to incredible heights. They have completely lost their access to your precious divine energy forever. You are standing completely victorious in the glorious light of your new timeline. The massive generational wealth you were promised is flowing freely toward your open hands today. Do not ever shrink back to fit into their tiny boxes again. You are a true master of reality, and your physical presence alone commands absolute respect from the entire universe. Your beautiful soul has been thoroughly washed clean by the painful fire. The deep scars you carry are actually glorious medals of absolute honor in the spiritual realm. They prove that you faced the darkest demons and you emerged completely victorious. You are a massive beacon of hope for everyone who is still secretly struggling in the cold darkness. God trusts you with this massive level of spiritual authority because your heart is incredibly pure. You never sought revenge against the toxic people who ruthlessly broke you. You gracefully left their terrible judgment entirely in the hands of the divine source. And because of that massive restraint, you are being rewarded with unimaginable cosmic wealth today. But heaven requires one final act of obedience from you today. If this fiery message has reignited the powerful faith inside you, do not keep this massive blessing to yourself. There is a tired soul out there bleeding in the dark of despair right now. They are desperately needing a guiding light to pull them out of the heavy mud of pure survival. You must share this message with them today. Sowing the powerful seed of hope today is actively multiplying the massive blessing for your own future. Share this message to activate the anointing and multiply your own divine blessing. Let the universe clearly see that you are a generous conduit of pure, unconditional love and absolute kingdom authority. Your spiritual enemies are terrified of your massive awakening. They hoped you would stay quiet and hidden in the dark shadows forever. But your loud victory is completely blinding them today. As you share this message, you are actively destroying the dark matrix that held you captive for so incredibly long. You are setting other chosen ones completely free. Take one final deep breath and let the glorious truth settle. The intense season of your bitter weeping is officially over forever. You are fully equipped and you are totally protected by the divine source. Step boldly into your promised land without looking back at the burning ruins. Your magnificent crown is finally resting perfectly on your head. The universe is actively conspiring in your absolute favor today. Every single closed door was a massive blessing in disguise to protect you. You are a beautiful weapon of light, and your powerful frequency is healing this broken world. Do not let anyone ever convince you that you are small or insignificant again. You are a chosen one. This is your glorious new reality. Heaven is loudly applauding your massive victory today. The angels are singing your name in the highest courts of the spiritual realm. Keep your head held incredibly high as you walk directly into your massive generational harvest. You have truly earned every single miracle that is coming your way right now. Anchor yourself firmly in this profound peace. Let the divine energy flow through your veins and wash away the last remaining drops of heavy anxiety. You are exactly where you are supposed to be right now. The beautiful universe makes no mistakes when it comes to your glorious destiny. Everything is perfectly aligned for your ultimate massive breakthrough. I am incredibly proud of your beautiful journey. You are fiercely loved, and you are heavily protected by the highest powers in existence. Share this message to seal your brand new timeline forever. Go out there and boldly claim the massive inheritance that has always belonged to you. The long wait is over, and your beautiful life is finally beginning.